Okay, everybody, welcome. I'd like to welcome you to our first of our CloudCom Summit podcasts. Looking forward to our CloudCom Summit happening in Washington in September the 11th and 12th. I'm really pleased today to say we've got Alan Rihm, CEO of CoreDial, with us today. Hi, Alan.
Hey, Matt. Great to chat with you.
As many will know, Alan is the CEO of CoreDial, but is also taking part in our event and speaking both on our CEO fireside chat with Clark Peterson during the first day, and also sharing some of the best practices that he's learned from selling so successfully to the channel on day two. So, Alan, most of our listeners, I guess, will already know who CoreDial is, but could you just take a few minutes to introduce yourself and CoreDial for us?
Sure, Matt. Thanks. Yeah, so CoreDial is a cloud communication business. Obviously, we focus on helping channel partners to succeed with cloud communications with their customers. So what that means is we work real hard to identify partners where we might be able to help them to provide UCaaS and CCaaS type solutions to their customers. Generally speaking, they're MSPs, VARs, IT solution providers, office equipment resellers, people like that. And they don't want to just be reselling or being an agent of somebody else. They want to actually provide the solution, through their company to drive more value, to control the implementations better, to be the one throat to choke when their customers, have questions or opportunities. And then we focus on then helping to get them successful. So we sign up new partners, and then we focus all our efforts on trying to help them be successful. The numbers are, we've got over 800 channel partners, over 27,000 businesses on the platform, and approaching 350,000 seats. So got about 14 years under our belt.
And I was noticing you've won a whole series of awards recently. I saw you're part of the Channel Circle of Excellence now, and various other awards in the last 6 months. It's been a busy period for you. I mean, you mentioned a little bit there about the different business model you've enabled these resellers to take. What's kind of been your key secret to your success, do you think, in that? What were the key things you'd highlight that has kind of made you successful versus some of your competition?
Yeah, so I think Matt, it's been focus and culture building. So from a focus perspective, I mean, we made a decision early in our life to be 100% channel. Many vendors don't engage with the channel the way we do. And because we're 100% focused on the channel, we really engage with our partners to make sure, that we're doing the right things to help them succeed, to better understanding their businesses and what drives them and what value we can offer, and also to listen and learn and improve based on their feedback. Because as you probably know, channel partners can be very vocal. It's our job to listen to them and make sure that we adjust and adapt and deliver on the things that they want and need to succeed for their customers. And I think the other part of that is we went through a hyper growth area about 3-4 years ago where we hired about 100 people in 18 months. And so culture building has been, even since our first day of operations, and certainly through, that type of event when you're hiring 100 people in such short order, culture building is key. Making sure everybody understands the importance of driving the success of our channel partners. And then, obviously us, the leadership team, all the management, making sure we understand what does success mean to our employees? How do we help them in their careers? And that way they'll fight the good fight for the partners. They'll bring their A game to work. And I really think those are the secrets to success for us.
Interesting, because a lot of companies, especially in this sector, focus just on the technology. So interesting to hear from you about the importance of the culture as well. And I noticed I think you won the Best Place to Work award in the last few weeks when I was looking at your site. So really interesting to hear just not a technology story as well. So things are changing dramatically, and it's one of the reasons we're having kind of this event. I mean, things are hotting up in this space. Luckily, we're going through a period of hyper growth, but lots of sort of change as well in terms of new services. And I know, for instance, you've been focusing more on the contact center and other things are happening. What do you think it's the key things that customers need to think about to be successful in your channel partners at the moment? Because obviously we are going through a kind of unprecedented period, I think, in terms of some of the changes in technology, the way the market is ramping up. What do you think are the key things that your channel needs to focus on and the customers they're serving to be successful?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, a really good question. Look, and you mentioned it's, while technology is, critical in our space and in most SaaS providers space, I would lead the answer with to be a high quality and reliable partner at every level, first and foremost. I mean, it's table stakes. So whether it's us being highly, of high quality in our interactions with our channel, running our platform, delivering new services, and the same thing with our channel partners, being that high quality, reliable partner to the customer, understanding their needs, bringing the right technology. Many of our partners will add other, complementing things, technologies to our services. So, and then I think the second thing is to focus on the right services and integrations and things of that nature. Obviously, we've focused. Everybody's calling UC and mobile teams these days, so having it, being able to and not only just offer, typical, hosted phone services, but things like UC and mobile and presence and chat and meetings and collaboration when and where the customers need. And by the way, it's for the longest time I used just a regular phone, and that's all I ever needed. But then you have a, bad weather day, or you're mobile one day and you really need access to your office communication system. Having a UC and a mobile technology that's instantly available and highly available from anywhere, wherever you're working, is critical. And then things like, technology, like contact center, like, well, contact center have been around for a long time, and there'll be people in the industry that'll forget more than I'll ever know about contact center. We made an acquisition a little over 18 months ago, and bringing contact center to our channel, and through our channel to the end customer, it's really a greenfield opportunity. So I think there's plenty of years ahead of us where, people, a lot of these SMB SMEs, 25 to 500 plus employee companies, they don't have contact center, but could absolutely benefit from it. They could benefit from things like bring back in queue or IVRs or omni-channel contact center capabilities. And they're not just a paid contact center organization. And then the third thing I would say is, we need to, and we've done a fairly good job of this, but keeping our finger on the pulse and not getting distracted with what our channel and their customers really want and need. So recently there's this big buzz about AI, and look, I think we're very, very intrigued with it. And so knowing when is it important to go all in on that, or when is that really just a sizzle thing, and really, maybe your type of vertical market or your customers don't really need that right now, so you can keep watching that and adopt it when needed. So being able to distinguish between what's table stakes, what do you have, what's going to actually help your partners drive business, versus what is interesting to talk about and you should be investigating, but you really don't need to bring to market yet.
Yeah, interesting. And I mean, one of the things that we feel is also that piece you mentioned about the channel really knows their customers well, and they've got to spend some time understanding the customers and proposing what's right to the customers. So whether that is, as you say, contact center, or whether it's other things. So I think that's really interesting. Making sure that we're not trying to oversell stuff that isn't necessarily relevant, but understanding that customer really well is what a channel
Exactly.
can do that maybe some big, large mega cloud company can't do and can't understand. So that's been really interesting, and really a taster of what we're going to talk about together. And we're going to talk with your fellow CEOs and other players at the Cloud Comms Summit. I think you went last year, and you've been to a lot of the CCA events that both me and you have attended. I just wondered if you had any thoughts about those sorts of events, and maybe could give some of the listeners a reason why you attend these things, and attended the event last year, and anything you'd like to sort of highlight in terms of the event and why people may want to come.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, I really look forward to this event because there's when you get this many people in this space together with so much information on communications, and whether it's the table stake capabilities of our market, or it's the next great thing, or it's best practices. It's when you're going here and you're seeing your peers and folks like Clark and the many others that you get to interact with. You're gonna walk away with either, wow, I didn't realize that was as important as it is, or, oh, look at that regulatory thing I need to focus on, or, hey, geez, that's a best practice, or, geez, I didn't know that was available. So I always walk away from these with something, thinking, wow, there was at least one or two really solid takeaways. It was worth my time. So I look forward to it. It's always great to see how you compare with your peers, and learn new things and not only that, but to give back, to share. It's definitely a sharing environment. I think everybody's really trying to help each other, and so it's been a great event.
Great. So thanks very much, Alan. And anybody who's listening to the podcast who wants to find more about CoreDial can go to the CoreDial site, or if you want to find some more about the Cloud Comms Summit, it's www.cloudcommssummit.com. And I'm really looking forward to catching up as usual at the event and seeing you there. And just a big thanks for taking part in this podcast today.
Oh, hey, Matt, it's my pleasure. Thank you, and appreciate the time.